too as well. Pitt continued their training camp this week. Pat Narduzzi says that the depth chart is not set yet. There's still more work to do. They had their second scrimmage over the weekend as they get ready for their season opener against Virginia on August 31st. Gene, you ready to take some phone calls?
Sure, let's do it.
All right, let's do it. Let's start with Don in Clearfield. Don, you're on the Nightly Sports Call.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Yeah, there's a group of servicemen up here from our service clubs, and we have an idea we'd like to pass on.
Okay.
We want to save that pirate owner some money. So in our next set of home games, instead of moving guys up and down real quick from Indianapolis, why don't we just get a bus, take the starting lineup and the bench players and relievers from Altoona Curve, send them down, let them finish out. That's all I got to say. Just go ahead and give me your opinion.
That's one of the more creative ideas I've heard. Thanks for the call. Gene?
Yeah, thanks for putting so much thought into that one.
It's creative. I give them credit.
Yeah, it is. I mean, the Pirates have been playing with a lot of AAA and AA pitchers all season long. It's touching that you thought about how to move them about more efficiently for management. We appreciate it.
I'd like to think buses take longer than planes do.
I think they do. I mean, the last I checked.
Usually when they bring in guys from the minors, they usually take planes. So,
Okay.
just a thought. Let's go to Ray and Chippewa. Ray, you're on the Nightly Sports Call.
Hey, hi. Thanks for taking my call.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, I wanted to talk about the Steelers. T.J. Watt, it bothers me why he's in there. I just fear him getting hurt. And everyone knows he made the team, and I'm missing something. You guys can probably explain this to me because I don't know why he's playing. And
They can't sit every starter, right? They got to have some of those guys play.
Oh, they do? Well, I mean, he's young and he can probably take it, but there's probably other ones that I can't really think of right now. I didn't write them down, but so you don't mind him playing first and second? I mean, I don't keep track of it, but it seems to me like
Not
he plays a
necessarily.
lot.
Not necessarily, and thanks for the call. Here's why. Because T.J. Watt's in his third season. It's not like he's been here 8 or 9 years like Cam Hayward's been. It's not like he's been here over a decade like Ben Roethlisberger's been, or nearly a decade like Marquise Pouncey has been. These guys are in their early to mid 30s. These are late years by football standards. Those are the guys that you probably want to protect and not play as much. T.J. Watt's still in his mid 20s. He's early on.
Yeah, I mean, and he's the kind of player who, as good as he's been, and I have nothing but positive things to say about him. He still can benefit from more playing time, even if it's in games like this. But frankly, I don't want to see any of them play. I mean. That's the only real purpose of the exhibition season, in my view, is to handicap the rest of the season by who gets hurt in these 4 games. I mean, that's what it's out there for. That's the only bottom line at the end of these games, in my view, who's hurt and who's not.
And not to mention the fact T.J. Watt's entering his 3rd year, so it's not like he's been doing this 5 or 6 years. The first 3 years of a player's career, there's still some things that you can look at. There's still some development there. There's still some things they can learn and still use.
More playing time, right?
And it's worth stating, this is only his 4th year playing the position of outside linebacker. He played it 1 year at Wisconsin.
Right.
So this is a guy who's still
and
learning
as
to
Josh said,
adapt.
You got to play somebody. You can't
Right.
play all free agents out there.
Yeah, and it's not like he's playing the entire 4 quarters and doing special teams. I think they're still putting him out there in game speed because there's still things he can learn and adapt to and actually develop.
Look at how much Bud Dupree is playing.
Right, and they got to see what they have with Bud Dupree. They picked up that 5th-year option. He's making, $9 million this season? They got to make sure that's the investment that they're looking for as far as what they're hoping for. Let's go to John in Harrisville. John, you're on the Nightly Sports Call. Hello, John.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
I was calling about the Pirates sports announcers. I really got to say, they really didn't dig too deep for them.
Can you be more specific? It's like a 3.5-hour game. You got to give me more.
They didn't what?
They haven't really. They're not the best to be out there.
You're calling the wrong station to tell us that. But thank you for the call. We appreciate it. You're calling the wrong people. You got to call AT&T for that one. We can't do anything about that. I appreciate the sentiment, but that really didn't go much into depth. Gene, I don't really know what else I can really say to that.
I don't know what he was talking about.
Because you could make that case for anything. These guys have called, 120 some odd games now?
He said they're losing interest? Is that what he seems to be indicating?
I don't think those guys look at it the same way you do. This is something that I have to keep explaining to people. And Gene, feel free to chime in on this if you get the opportunity to, or if the spirit moves you.
I'm not sure what he was trying to say.
Me neither, but I think I don't know if he's implying that the announcers are just starting to really mail it in because the team isn't doing well.
The team is mailing it in.
And
It's August 20th.
Let's be clear about this, because between the announcers, between those of us, between you and I who actually cover the team and have other things we have to do, we don't judge how we do our job based on the outcome. That's not what we're supposed to do. We're there to tell you what happened and actually find the story within the game. The outcome doesn't dictate the story. The outcome is just part of the story. So if we base everything on the outcome, we'd be on vacation by what, 4th of July, Gene? It's not that simple. We can't look at it the way fans do. And here's an example. If I talk about this game and say, oh, Starling Marte hit a home run, because that's what fans are going to normally get excited about, and that's the thing they're going to walk away taking away from him hitting a home run late in the game that made the difference. But if I tell you that was his 22nd home run, and he's having one of his higher home run totals of his career, and it's the first time in a couple weeks since he's done it. He was at one point leading all outfielders after the All-Star break as far as home runs in the National League. That's something that you and I might pay more attention to, Gene, because it's more things that actually go into the details of a story that we're going to put together.
Yeah, and everybody who's watching a game, and this goes for the broadcasters too, they all tell a different interpretation of what they're seeing in front of them. I thought the most interesting aspect of this game, Josh, was why was Steven Strasburg taken out of that game?
That's a good question.
He had pitched 7 shutout innings against a team that had scored in one of its previous 34 innings.
Yep.
He was going to win that game in a walk, but the Nationals, as they always have been with Steven Strasburg, are more interested in protecting their investment in him than they are in actually winning games.
And
so they deserve to lose that game, and they deserve to lose division titles in the past for doing exactly this stupid nonsense.
And it does not help that they don't have a bullpen that can hold games. And their closer right now is on the injured list. Sean Doolittle's not available for them right now.
So
they don't have
it's
him.
a 1-0 game.
Right.
Let Steven Strasburg finish the game.
He was your better bet, honestly, to finish that game out. Ironically, I saw Steven Strasburg start a couple weeks ago at Citi Field against the Mets, and it was the same scenario. He left in a tie game. I want to say he left. Maybe the Mets were trailing 3-1. The Nationals had the lead, I think 3-1 when he got pulled, and then the Mets come back and tie the game, and then they walk it off in the 9th inning. They scored 4 runs in the 9th because the Nationals bullpen couldn't hold the lead.
Right, and this is
the same scenario.
This is no criticism of Steven Strasburg.
None.
I think he's a fine pitcher. I was
None.
honored to cover his Major League debut in Washington in June of 2010, and the Nationals started overprotecting him right from that minute.
Fair enough. We got to take a break. We'll answer more phone calls, maybe a couple tweets when we come back. Stick around.